welcome, Freck Talk listeners. This is episode number 59. You are here with your host, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap. You are here with your other host, Mr. Matt Quine. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Yeah.
Got it this week. This week.
We're back. We're on top form. I didn't even ask you this before the cast, actually. How rude of me. How are you, Matt? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm in like the busiest week of my life, but other than that, all is good.
Damn straight. Yeah, I mean, it was a case of record stupid late at night or not record this week. So
yeah, my bad about that. But I'm working 2 jobs, coaching a rugby team. I had the rugby club's AGM tonight as well. I've got a 24-hour walk for they call it the Relay for Life for Cancer Research UK. So I'm doing like a sponsored walk for charity. I've got 3 gigs this weekend. So yeah,
shit, man.
just a tad busy.
You are an absolute titan. Yeah. If I had a hat, I would be doffing it to you right now.
Yeah, but all is good. How about yourself? You doing well?
Yeah, generally. I've broken the procrastination streak.
Have you done some soldering?
No, I haven't done soldering. No, I haven't. I've done some woodwork. This week, I've started the work on making a pedal board for Mr. Adam Yeomans.
Is it going to be stupidly big like your one?
It's 2 foot wide, so yeah, pretty much.
So it's the right size. That's what you said.
Yeah. I mean, it's shaping up to be something that will be relatively impressive, and hopefully it should be built like a brick shithouse as well. So pretty bomb-proof. I actually paid real care to like sanding the sides and everything, like I haven't done with any of my others. So
because it's for someone else, you feel like you have to.
Yeah. You feel a slight obligation to try your hardest.
Yeah, it's because for your own ones, it's your own fault if you get a splinter in your hand. Whereas if Yeomans get a splinter in his hand and it's your fault, you'll feel a little bit bad.
Yeah, I'm ever so slightly liable then. But yeah, I got the saw out today. Cut the pieces, and just by the time I'd cut all the pieces, my little lad woke up, so I didn't get to fit it all together. But I took a photo of all the bits and sent it to Mr. Yeomans and said, like pedal board, some assembly required.
Brilliant.
So it was like an IKEA pedal board. It was brilliant. I'm looking around. I was just looking for my water because I am that rock and roll. With the podcast, I have a glass of water.
I mean, I'm on Pepsi Max, so it's not exactly rock and roll at this end either.
I know, yeah. I'm so hardcore. So hardcore. It's a peek behind the curtain, totally. That is, listeners, to the rock and roll lifestyles that we lead.
Yeah, to the kind of things that we do at 10:30 on a Thursday night.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, don't tell them our schedule, but like I literally, a couple of hours before this, I posted up in the group, we're recording tonight. To which we had some...
To be fair, it's...
Yeah, I mean, we had some very interesting responses. Thanks, Si.
Yeah, cheers, Si. That's a brilliant point you made. Question.
Yeah. Question? Conversation topic. Yes. Boobs. I mean, boobs are fantastic, aren't they?
They are?
They serve a wonderful purpose of nourishment for children, and they're just great fun. So there you go. So there's your topic. So not only have I been breaking the procrastination streak this week, I've been playing a bit of guitar as well.
Nice.
Some of which you'll have seen on Tinterwebs, because I posted up some footage of me actually playing the guitar this week.
Yep.
So on my Facebook page, a good few months back now, I posted up a video called, it was something like Basic to Boutique, where there was like a really cheap 335 copy, and I played it with its stock pickups in. And then Mr. Fletch was going to put some rather special pickups in it, and then give it me back so I could do a recording of the difference. And I had to listen to the stock pickups today. I had a little watch of the video, and they weren't terrible, but they were very muddy, and there was a lot of kind of wool. Yeah, everything you'd think of with like
cheap humbuckers.
That's it. Yeah.
Unfocused, woolly, muddy.
I mean, it weren't terrible. Don't get me wrong. The tone of them weren't terrible, but it was, as the video said, basic. It was a basic sound. You could get away with it for a gig, but it's not going to inspire you. But this week, I got that guitar. I've had it for a couple of weeks actually, but I got the guitar and gave it a proper going through. And this is with the Provenance set of pickups, and they are bloody brilliant.
Yeah, I mentioned to you before the cast, like, through Apple headphones that are notoriously all right, and bearing in mind that you recorded it with a phone, they sounded pretty good, like really pretty good.
Yeah. And again, this guitar is, I think it was like 250 quid. So think like Epiphone quality. The action's not great on it. I think Fletcher's tried sorting it out a little bit. But the hardware struggles to stay in tune with it. And it's not what you'd class as a high-end instrument. But the tone of these pickups just makes you want to play. And I found that when I was playing it as well, it altered the kind of feel and vibrato that I was doing. It gave me a bit of Paul Kossoff, sped my vibrato up a little bit, and just got that real vintage kind of vibe going on.
Yeah, nice. Like I say, I've only heard a couple of the clips that you've posted, but they sound, the pickups just sound incredible.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do like a full works with it and post it on the Facebook page again, where I actually compare them properly and give it a good old review. But yeah, I mean, I think I ended up playing it for like probably about 2 hours the other night. So that's a testament to those pickups. But also kind of honourable mention to the amp that I was going through. So I was mentioning to Matt before the start of the cast. Ever since I got the PV Classic 30s, they have been the golden boy. They've been the new kid in town. And there's I've almost had like a stigma in my own head with my little Blackstar HT5, thinking it's a lesser quality amplifier, so it's I should use the Classic 30 whenever, rather than the Black Star. For ease of use this week, I plugged in the Black Star rather than the Classic 30, and the tone was brilliant. It was almost kind of classic Marshall crunch.
Nice. That sound that everybody secretly wants.
Yeah.
Even those people that say they love Fendery cleans, actually, when they think about it, the best sound in the world is a classic Marshall crunch.
I'm not entirely sure I'd go that far with it, but it's definitely one of the iconic tones, isn't it? And where I had my mindset that the Classic 30 tone was the best tone, and that the Black Star was inferior. In fact, they are just different. One is like it's a Fender clean, beautiful, rich, bluesy clean tone. The drive's pretty good as well, but you get the other side of the coin, and you get that Black Star doing that Marshall thing. It ain't no slouch.
No, I get where you're coming from, but the greatest sound in the world is a cranked Marshall with a crunchiness.
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue against the fact that you've at least one point in your life you've got to play a guitar through an absolutely rip-roaring Marshall to get that wall of noise behind you.
Yeah, and it just puts a smile on your face.
Yeah, it's like it's horrendously juvenile.
It's childish.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think there's a time and a place for that, isn't there? And you've got to enjoy it when you get the chance to do it.
Yep. I actually played through a Marshall 412, a Marshall head with a 412 this week.
Oh, did you?
So I had 2 gigs this weekend, and the second one was our drummer's partner's 50th birthday, and there was us and our drummer's other band, who are a Pearl Jam cover band.
Nice.
And one of their guitar, because we were on a small stage, we were using their backline because they were going on last, because some of the guys in my band had to go to work early the following day. It was a Sunday night. So we were using their backline. So I played a gig with a Marshall 412.
Nice.
Because we set up on a Sunday at 1 o'clock, when there was nobody else in the venue. I might have turned up the amp a little bit just to see what happened.
And what was your thoughts behind that?
My thoughts were I need a Marshall with a foot. As much as 15 watts is plenty, and you wouldn't have been able to hear my AC15 over what I was playing. You need a Marshall 50 watt head with a 412 in your life, because just chugging out some AC/DC riffs with my caberneter through the it was a Marshall. Is it JMP? Is that the thing? JMP? JP?
Yeah, JMP. Yeah. Aren't they JMPs? Aren't they 45? Them
might be 45,
but I don't know. I mean, my knowledge of Marshall heads is limited.
Yeah, I mean, my knowledge is there's volume, gain, tone, presence, and 2 volumes.
Yeah.
And, sorry, 3-band EQ. Yeah, basically I just left the EQ to how he had it set, and turned the master volume up a little bit more, played, up a little bit more, played a bit more, up a little bit more, played a bit more, up a little bit more.
I like where this is going.
It was good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically turned it up to the point where if I turned around, the entire room just got feedback. It was great.
But yeah, I think there's something to be said for that juvenile noise making And there's a reason why so many bands had like stacks of Marshall 100-watt heads and 412s just lying behind them.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just an amazing feeling.
Well, yeah. So, yeah,
So,
there was a conversation that I had this week with a guitar-y friend of mine. He's a very very technical and very accomplished player. And I can't remember how the conversation came up. I was talking about his guitar, which is this kind of fancy custom made thing, and it happens to have a set of DiMarzio Evos in it, which is a pickup that I'm quite familiar with. I had some in my RG for quite a while, and he said
before you put P90s in it.
Well, yeah. And, yeah, talking about juvenile. No, I think I'm becoming more of a refined gentleman, and I think it's okay to have Evos when you're a young whippersnapper. But you get to a certain age and you start appreciating the finer things in life. And one of those finer things is a beautifully balanced P90 set.
In an RG.
In an RG, yeah. In an RG. I was thinking about that actually this week, and I was thinking I need to get some thicker strings for it, because I think that's the only thing that's holding it back from being like a proper guitar now, because it's got 9s on it, and
yeah, get some like super heavy bottom, like normal top, so something like a 15 to like a other way around. So yeah, like 9 to 69.
No, I think just
60. I
think just 10 to 46 will be fine. I just need to. It's just adjusting things on it again, which is, it requires a certain level of effort and
patience.
It's difficult to kind of psych yourself up for that effort.
Bearing in mind that I've had the Variax now for 2 weeks and I've not even looked at the trem system because I can't be arsed setting up a Strat style trem system, you can realise what I would do with a freaking Floyd Rose.
Yeah. I'm tempted to block it off, but we'll see.
But then how are you going to do your dive bombs that go so well with your P90
that's
sound?
it, classic. Woo! Oh, no. So, yeah, whipping us back round to the DiMarzio Evolutions. I had fun with them. They're actually quite a classic. I mean, they're very hot pickups, but they're still quite classic sounding. They're just like a hot classic rather than with kind of ceramic pickups where you get that kind of real compressed sound. They're a bit more open than that. And this lad was saying they even sound good with coil taps. Sorry. It's like, oh, you've got them tapped. He says, yeah. Where you get that single coil sound? And I didn't. I felt like a proper dick, but I had to correct him. I was like, well, it's a split, that is. It's not a tap. And he genuinely didn't know the difference between the two. But I both felt like I had an obligation to teach him, but also like a massive bell end for being that guy.
Yeah, but think of it this, like, if he didn't know the difference, then you've improved his knowledge of the guitar.
Yeah. And so this is where I'm going to be a massive bell end to our audience and explain the difference between the two. For those who don't know, For those who do, just bear with me. I'll only be a bit. And I'm going to explain it in a very simple way because I'm a very simple man. So, the way I understand it is that a coil split is where you get a humbucker and you only engage one of the coils because the windings of a humbucker go completely round one pickup, and then there's an output of that. And if you wire it as a humbucker, the output of that goes into the input of the next coil, which is a winding which is the reverse of the first one. And then obviously there's an output of that one. So your input of your first one goes to the output of the first one goes to the input of the second one. And because they're reverse wound, you get that kind of position 2 and 4 hum cancelling that you would on a Strat, but because they're close together, they work almost as a single unit rather than having that kind of out of phasey-ish sound.
Yeah.
And it's quite a popular thing to do with humbucking pickups because you get the versatility of having a full humbucker or a almost single coil sound.
Single coil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with splitting humbuckers is often the humbuckers are voiced in a way that the humbucker sound is good, but when you split the single coils are quite weak.
Yeah, they're quite weak, and sometimes they're quite harsh as well because they're very thin and brittle.
Yeah. And as I was saying with the Damasio Evos, because they're like a PAF sound but hotter. When you split it, the single coil sound is actually quite a nice one. A coil tap. Oh
yeah.
Go on, Matt. Do you know how coil taps work?
Not the way it's been explained to me in the past is instead of splitting a humbucker in two down the middle, where it's two single coils, you split it the other way and you take amounts of winds off the humbucker.
Pretty much bang on. But this can be done with single coil pickups as well. It does.
Yeah, but it's instead of knocking it in half, you're basically saying you want to reduce the output almost.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly how
you take.
As far as I understand, that's exactly how it works. So let's take an arbitrary number and say that your pickup has 7,000 winds on it.
Yeah.
That will give you the full output of that pickup. And I've got a rather hot Telecaster bridge pickup. Just so happens this is a Fletcher Big Bang, which is kind of quarter pounder, very hot bridge pickup.
Yeah.
Let's say that's got 7,000 windings of copper coil on it. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's say it's 7,000. At a flick of a switch, there's a mode where it would only engage part of that winding, so say 5,000 winds rather than the 7,000, which brings the output down. But in the case of my Telecaster pickup, where it goes from quite mid-focused and bass-heavy sound, it then makes it more of a Telecaster sound. Very similar for humbuckers. So you might have a hot humbucker, which has got many windings, and then you engage a coil tap, which takes the windings from an earlier point in the coil the wind to bring it down to a more vintage output.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the two. And I felt like an absolute bellend having to explain that. I didn't do it in a as condescending a way as I've done it today. But he seemed genuinely pleased that he now knows the difference between the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, still doesn't make you feel less of a bellend, does it?
It doesn't, but like at the same time, like although I know those two things, if somebody said, like, is this guitar coil split or coil tap, I wouldn't be able to, without looking it up on the internet and then trying to work out which one was which in my head, be able to tell somebody whether they had a coil split or a coil tap. It's like all humbuckers come with those two wires, like, or a lot of humbuckers these days come with those two wires that are covered that you can uncover to coil split them.
Yes, yeah. So that's essentially the common thing is where you have four. It's what they call four conductor wire. So you have like the input and output of both of the coils.
And two of them are just left together unless you want to take the cover off and then wire it into a push-pull or a push-push.
Yeah. Whereas they didn't give that option for earlier humbuckers. The output of the one was already pre-joined to the input of the other, so that it could only ever be used as a humbucker.
I mean, I always forget, but I think my Epiphone Explorer Pro has coil taps, I believe.
There is a way to find out, I believe. I might be like super. Well, that's that way, I suppose. I might be like being like super like MacGyver clever here, or it might be I'm talking bullshit. However, you've got pole pieces on both sides of your pickup, or are yours covered?
Yeah, mine are covered.
It might work anyway, but if you've got pole pieces on either side, if you tap the pole pieces with a screwdriver, it will produce.
Be live if it's coil tapped.
Yeah, if it's split, only one of the coils will be live, and you'll get a noise coming through when you tap it.
Yeah,
with a screwdriver or anything metal.
Yeah,
and it's the way that you test pickups if you've wired up a guitar, but you don't want to put a set of strings on just to make sure you've done the.
Oh yeah, I've done that
properly.
every time I've put pickups. So when I first did my Pink Sparkle and put the iron gears on it, and then when I did the SG, that's the only way I've ever been able to. Like, I'm not putting strings on a guitar to then find out that I've missed some fucking wiring and taken strings off it again. So yeah, you just put it on neck pickup, tap the neck pickup if it works, happy days. Put it on bridge pickup, tap the bridge pickup if it works, happy days. And then just to make sure, put it on mid, and then tap them both. Yeah. And if you get pops through the amp, then you're all good.
There you go. So I mean, the theory makes sense, doesn't it? I don't know if that's the actual case. Anyway, let's move on to slightly less kind of jargony stuff. Matt, you've been doing stuff this week, haven't you?
I have. So, like I say, I did a couple of gigs. Nothing really much to write home about. Played the Variax again. I'll just not talk about it because we all know my feelings on the Variax at the moment.
Yeah. I mean,
slowly getting in.
I did some work benching to my Variax between this week and last week, but for the sake of not bringing our listeners into like Variax chat again for like 3 weeks running, we're not going to mention it.
Yeah,
because we love it.
I'll just say that I used that again.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I used that for both gigs that I did this weekend. Like I say, the second gig that I did, we only did an hour, but I played through a Marshall 412 because we were using the other band's backline. And then the band that was supporting us, the band that we were supporting, they call themselves Lost Dogs. They're a Pearl Jam tribute act. The two guitarists in that use a Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul R9 which is the first time I've ever seen one of the R9s, you know, the really expensive ones.
Indeed, yeah.
And the other guy uses a HSS custom shop Strat. And the custom shop Strat has this black finish, but it's not like, it's almost translucent. You can see wood grain coming through it. It just looked incredible. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention, because they're two really, really incredible guitars that I got to saw. And the other guitarist the guy with the custom shop Strat uses a Friedman Pink Taco, which he's had modified because he wasn't a massive fan of the sound, but after spending nearly $2,000 on an amp, he wanted an amp that he could actually use.
Yeah.
So he sent it off.
Get it modified even further.
Yeah, had it modified. I'm not sure exactly what modifications he's had done, but it's got 2 extra switches. He said, and he was just saying that it just transformed the amp. I think the Pink Taco is the one that's quite trebly and quite shrill.
Yeah.
I don't know which of the Marshalls it's based off of, but whatever he's had done to it anyway, it sounded incredible.
Bang on.
And then
I've only ever heard good things about Friedman amps, and I've yet to try one. And I don't think I need to try one, because I don't think I'm going to be able to afford one ever.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I've said many times, the Mini Shirley, which is the 20-watt version of the Dirty Shirley, is possibly the best amp I've ever heard. It's just the Friedman stuff I've got a lot of time for. Like I say, the best sound in the world is a cranked Marshall, and Friedman do really good Marshall clones.
That's it, yeah. People doing Marshall better than Marshall.
Yeah. And then I suppose the other thing I've done this week is I've picked up a pedal for a decent price. So I was
not just a decent price, Matt. Go on.
Well, I was flicking through one of the local musician pages because, as you do,
what would
just
you not
see
do?
what's going on in the local. And somebody was flogging an OCD. And apparently he'd been trying to flog it for a while, which I hadn't noticed, because he'd knocked it down from 60 quid to 45 quid.
I mean...
I just went... Yeah. I literally straight away messaged him and went, can I pick this up on Wednesday, please?
That's it. I will have this. Can I have this? Please let me have this.
Yeah. And he was... ace about it. He just went, yeah, crack on. I'll meet you at me lunch in my lunch hour. So I drove around to his in my lunch hour and picked it up for 45 quid.
That is an absolute
worst comes to worst
deal. Yeah,
I'll just flip it if it doesn't. I want to try it with a Vox, because obviously Vox and higher gain pedals don't always work, which is what I want to use this as. Like,
yeah,
I'll keep my hotcake for the low gain stuff. Use the OCD for my sort of like cranked Marshall sounds, as opposed to like a Marshall on breakup, which is basically what my hotcake does to the Vox.
Yeah.
So if it works, then brilliant. I've got another pedal for the board. If it doesn't, they're going for like double what I've just paid for it.
I have absolutely no doubt that you'll be able to get a profit on that.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard with the OCD, I'm pretty much banking on that you'll like it.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to a few people about it. I mean, it's a pedal that I've used before, but not with my own rig. I know I talk about Steve a lot, but Steve's got quite a few of them on. He's got multiple boards, and he's got, I think, on 3 of his 5 gigging boards, he's got OCDs, because they're just kind of one of those ubiquitous pedals that never seem to go away. You see them all the time on boards, on things like their pedal boards of doom and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and they're out there. There's lots of them, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah. And I think if it does work well with the Vox, which the more I speak to people, the more they say there's ways to counteract. Was it before the cast that you were talking about them pushing this kind of mid highs that a Vox kind of already has pushed?
Yeah.
But there's ways to tweak that with the toggle switch that takes the high low pass filters and stuff, and you can tweak the presence down a little bit compared to where you would use it if you were using like a Fender style amp. I've spoken to a few people, and everybody seems to think that there will be a way to get the sound that I'm looking for out of this pedal.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for you, man. Looking at our time, we really need to crack on. So, this week there isn't anything really going on. So, what is going on this week? I've noticed that quite topical actually. 2 different versions of the OCD. There's a candy apple red version. It's probably been out for weeks, but I've only just noticed it. And there's I think it's called the blackout or the noir, where it's the colours are reversed. It's black with white text.
With white, right?
Yeah. Both of which look absolutely awesome. And I think they cost a lot more, so we shan't talk about them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not going to pick one of them up for £45.
Yeah, almost certain. I mean, you see the little mini TC Electronic Dittos that were finished in gold rather than the weird kind of crap grey.
Crap. If you're crapping and it's that colour, you need to go see a doctor.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, can I? But it's like it's like nondescript. I mean, the pedal itself, the Ditto, is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
but the colour is it's terrible. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, it.
So there was that. There was the Gary Clark Jr., which is something that we mention almost weekly on the Fret Talk podcast. There's a limited edition kind of trans cherry version, which I mean,
see, I never. Like, as much as I like the Garrett Clark Jr., I'm not a massive fan of yellow guitars or cream guitars or whatever it was. But Trans Cherry SG 3 pickups just sounds like amazing.
I mean, it is essentially your wildest dreams. So I'm down with it. Yeah. It looks awesome. It sounds awesome, and I can't say enough that these are probably the best value for money in the Gibson catalogue. It's a signature. It's got 3 pickups. It's essentially an SG standard with 3 pickups for pretty much the same price as an SG standard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what more can you say about that?
I mean, I don't think there's anything we can say about the Gary Clark Jr. that we haven't already said, apart from it's got a new colour and it's even more awesome.
Yeah, they really are trying to get my bank details, Gibson. It's nice. It's always nice to mention the Gary Clark Jr. because it puts a smile on my face, and we don't often have that when we mention a Gibson.
No, and it's positive to see that they're doing, even if it is a signature model that's caused us to get a smile on our face. It's good to see Gibson doing that again.
Photo show. So for this week, I've got planned a little kind of a spotlight on a guitar brand that we all know. But we might not know this corner of their catalogue. So I've never made it a secret that I'm a fan of Ibanez guitars. When I first kind of started playing guitar, well, it was kind of like a couple of years after, because my third ever guitar was my kind of Cosmic Blue RG. I think it's like a 370 DX or something like that. So kind of like entry level, not crap Ibanez. And ever since then, I had a bit of a love affair with the Ibanez stuff. And I used to kind of, like, every year go to the guitar shops and get the Ibanez catalogue and see what they were doing new and kind of rifle through it. So I thought I'd have a nostalgic trip through the online Ibanez catalogue and see what they were doing. And they really surprised me. They've got quite a few not metal guitars. So when you think of Ibanez, you think of the RG, you think of the S series. You might even think of like the Gem, the Herman Lee. I mean, they're all kind of based on either the RG or the S series, or like the Iceman as well, quite a metal guitar. They've done V's in the past as well, and the Ibanez Destroyer as well, which is like a Explorer shape. All very kind of metal orientated instruments. However, I've got like a pick of three kind of ranges, which really aren't metal orientated, and a lot more kind of classic. So we'll kind of have a look at a couple of them and see what we think. So the first one that I wanted to bring up was called the AX. So it's in terms of, like, for those who haven't seen this guitar, think like a Gibson Double Cut Junior. So you think a Double Cut Junior, but put a bound fretboard on it, put block inlays on it, put it in like a metallic Sherwood green with a taut pickguard. You've pretty much got it.
I wonder why you picked it. Mr. Taut pickguard.
Well, there is that. So I thought, that's pretty cool. Watched the product video that they had on the website for it. And it's very much kind of aiming towards a punk market. Which
you'd expect from a Double Cut Junior.
Yeah. I mean, it's pointing towards that end of the market. So poplar body, not a particularly exotic choice. Les Paul control, so it's got 2 volume, 2-tone, 3-way switch. It's double humbucker, ceramic pickups, so aggressive, compressy, meant for kind of modern styles. Not entirely sure how good they'll be, but like a lot of Ibanez guitars, you kind of go into it thinking that you're probably going to change the pickup set anyway.
I mean, I know we've said it many times before, but Ibanez stock pickups, like their in-house pickups, are not the greatest, but you don't buy an Ibanez for the pickups, you buy an Ibanez for the guitar, and if you have to change the pickups, generally you've got a fairly good deal anyway on all the hardware and the guitar itself, which is always going to be playable.
Yeah. I mean, usually the Ibanez guitars are set up really well from the factory. They're set up with a really kind of consistent action, usually quite low as well. So they're usually really playable. And it's all very solid. So the body woods will be like really indicative of that kind of style. Poplar, not particularly fancy, but you do see in guitars every so often. The kind of Les Paul control layout makes sense.
Yeah.
The one thing that Ibanez do, which really kind of annoys the crap out of me, is they give their fretboard radiuses in millimeters, which I mean, it would make sense if everyone did it, but I know inches for fretboard radius. So this one's a 305 millimeter radius fretboard, which
12-inch.
Yeah, I'm thinking relatively flat.
Just over.
Yeah, I think it's kind of Les Paul-y, so something like that.
I think it might even be a little bit flatter than that. But yeah, it's certainly not going to be. It's not quite a 16-inch radius wizard neck, but wizard flat board, but
yeah,
it's a fairly flat board compared to your classic stuff.
But the one thing that I did want to mention about this guitar is the one thing that really stood out for me is the fretboard. It is made out of treated New Zealand pine. So
it doesn't look like pine, does it?
No. That I assume that's the treatment that it's done to it. It doesn't go into what the treatment is, but they say it's treated New Zealand pine. It looks like rosewood, but apparently it acts in a similar way to rosewood as well. In the way that they've described it, anyway. I thought that was really, really cool.
It is. Like I say, I just looked at it and assumed it was either rosewood or Pau Ferro or something that's very similar.
Yeah. I mean, quite a few companies are finding alternatives for rosewood due to the CITES debacle. And I thought that was a really interesting one, especially considering this is not a very expensive guitar at all.
No. Not at all.
So the 2 pickup version, which is the 120, is it the AX 120?
Yeah.
The one that we're kind of focusing on is 180 quid.
Which is nothing.
Yeah, I mean you're talking like beginner level guitar prices there, but for the specs, it's definitely above that. They also do a triple pickup version with a Bigsby or a Bigsby style, should I say? Because Ibanez do their own in-house Bigsby style vibrato tremolo systems, and that's $295, which again is, considering you're getting 3 pickups, bound fretboards, Bigsby style trem system, it's not bad at all.
That's really not bad.
However, that doesn't come with the torque guard, so it's dead to me.
I mean, you've failed to mention the big thing about this guitar.
Go on.
And that is the headstock. Where a Gibson would have the bookend headstock,
yeah,
Ibanez have got it going the other way, but it looks like the bottom of a bat signal, and it's amazing.
Nice. Yeah.
Just go and check it out after the cast, and you'll be like, oh my god, it is! It's the bottom of the bat signal.
I shall do that. So, I mean, it's a great alternative for people who want a punk rock guitar, and don't want to be spending because juniors have been silly money the past couple of years.
If you want a 2018, you've got to go custom shop.
Well, that's it. But the 2019, they're doing them, which it's going to be like kind of at least 600-700 quids. I don't know. I've not checked the prices, but I assume it's at least got to be that. And Epiphone aren't really doing them. I think there's not a great deal of companies who are doing that at a price that will compete with that.
No.
And there was one thing I wanted to mention before moving on to our next one. This range of guitars really reminds me of the old Jet King series, which again it was aimed at your kind of grungy kids, and they weren't particularly expensive back in the day as well. Kind of offsets. Some of them had like weird switches to do like phase and coil splitting and stuff like that. There were some with like P90s, some with vibrato systems, and again they were kind of lower tier prices, and largely fell under the radar when they first came out. But they're getting a bit of a cult following, especially in the used market at the moment. Yeah,
there's like the amount of times you see them on the gear exchange going for more than what they were new.
Yeah. And I've been tempted a few times myself actually, because looking back at them, they were really, really cool.
Yeah,
and I think you might see some of these AX series in like 5-10 years time coming up exactly like that.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the price, like you'll get. I bet you there's a load of them out there that have been modified by whoever's bought them. You know, they've gone for crazy pickup configurations because it's a modder's paradise.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially if you pick up one of those 3 pickup ones, that's mental. Like it's already got all the routing done for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll move on. So that was one of the Ibanez's that I wanted to mention. The next one is kind of a throwback to a 90s classic Ibanez, which is the Talman. I think made famous by Noodles from The Offspring. He notoriously plays a Talman, but his is an HSH, I believe. With a very weird like gaffer tape finish. But before they were before that happened, the Talman was it was released as a kind of a normal kind of weird kind of telly offset alternative.
Hybrid.
Yeah, like a hybrid. And they do 2 different versions at the moment. They do like a straight up telly version, but we're not gonna touch on that one too much because there's a slightly more interesting one, which is the TM303M. So the Talman 303M, which is essentially like it's almost like a Nashville telly setup, triple pickups, kind of standard telly configuration, but with a Strat single coil in the middle.
Yeah.
The one thing that lets this Talman down for me is it only comes in one finish, and it's tri-burst or something like that. Essentially, 3-tone sunburst. So it looks a bit. Bleh.
Yeah, a bit kind of. God's sake, we've seen this on every single guitar since time immemorial.
Yeah. But. So, I mean, we mentioned that it's part telly, part offset, which the offset thing over the past couple of years has blown up a bit. It's 3 pickups, 305mm radius again. The pickups are Alnico this time rather than ceramic, so they are kind of gearing towards classic tones rather than like trying to save a buck or two. An Alder body, maple neck, maple fretboard. So that's more of a traditional spec rather than Poplar.
Yeah.
The control system is the interesting thing for me. It says it's got a bone
Weird
nut
as
as well.
fuck.
Actually, just looking down the spec, it's got a bone nut.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I assume it's going to be synthetic bone and not actual bone, but that's
Still, like,
it's for the price point. It's something to mention. So yeah, the configuration. So your standard configuration, it's a 3-way switch, as you would get with a telly, and you get your telly configuration. You get like telly bridge pickup, neck and bridge, and then neck. But the middle pickup is on its own separate pot, so you can blend it in
Right, okay.
in any position.
So is that the volume control on the bottom horn?
Yeah, that's that's your neck pickup volume.
Because it's like the weirdest pickup control plate kind of where the controls are, because you've got volume and tone sort of where they might be on a Strat in terms of being diagonally one above the other.
Yeah.
And then one over where you'd have it on a Gretsch hollow body.
Yeah.
Which it looks a bit confusing, but I suppose, yeah, if you've got like just the 3-way with neck, and bridge, and then you've fade in the middle pickup in conjunction with those on the pot, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so essentially you've got 6 different tones there. But then like infinite variations of blending that middle pickup in.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you can get just the middle pickup on its own by turning the volume off.
Dropping the other volume.
I don't know. Maybe. But I thought that was really, really interesting in terms of a way to utilise that 3 pickup design and just be something different.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's totally different to anything else you ever heard of.
Yeah, because it would have been the easiest thing to have a 5-way switch and just do it Strat.
Yeah.
But
that's what I assumed, that the pickup selector looks like a Strat style, so I just assumed it was a 5-way.
Yeah, no. Apparently 3-way. And that guitar comes in at $349. So,
I mean, yeah, that's not exactly breaking the bank for something that's a bit different, but still quite classic voiced as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is kind of... I know it's a 90s guitar, but it's kind of aimed at retro, like really kind of vintage and retro with the Telecaster setup and having that kind of Nashville thing going on. I thought it was really interesting. And having a bone nut as well at that price point is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, you'd expect plastic on anything under 500, wouldn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the kind of the molded resin stuff. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. The final one that we're going to go for today is one that will piss you off because it's got mismatching humbuckers.
Yeah.
It's the Roadcore, the RC520, and I chose this one specifically because it would piss Matt off. So the Roadcore again is like it's like an offset. It's a dual humbucker offset, kind of. If Gibson ever made an offset guitar, it would probably be this.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's like dual humbucker. I think it's Gibson scale length. It's mahogany body and a Jatora fretboard. The pickups again are Alnico, and they are called core tone humbuckers, which I don't know, but it sounds like they're proud of them because they've named them rather than just being Alnico pickup.
Yeah.
This one's got a graphite nut as well.
Again,
yeah.
I mean, for the price point, you don't expect graphite nuts on a guitar like this.
Yeah. So the fretboard radius is 240, which I'm assuming is probably 9.5.
Yeah.
So kind of leaning more towards the Fender stuff. But it's also got,
which is odd because the rest of it is like Gibson-y.
Yeah. But it's also got core splits as well. So it's three-way selector, but then there's a push pull on the tone control, I think, that gives you basically single coil sound. So you got the inner coil of the neck pickup and inner coil of the bridge, and then gives you like the kind of the telly-ish. So I thought that's quite cool. Comes in 3 finishes, none of which really excited me too much. There's like a navy blue, a slightly lighter blue, almost Pelham bluey, and candy apple red. They're all right. None of them really like lit my world on fire, but I thought it's a pretty cool guitar. It's got double bound body, which I thought was a bit of a classy touch, and the neck pickup is covered, and the bridge pickup is uncovered, which I thought was a classic choice.
Just to annoy me, just like. I'm surprised the 2 knobs aren't different because it's clearly pretty created by a knob.
If I was lead in Ibanez design team, I would make that happen. I'd make the volume have tone written on it.
Just have both of them have tone written on them just to really confuse people.
Yeah, tone and a question mark. Oh. So yeah, I thought that again was a really cool guitar. That I think RRP for it was 400, and certain colours at the moment are coming up at 367 quid,
which is not bad at all.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? And I was saying to you before the cast as well, I did the research on Ibanez's website, and I kind of, before I googled the actual prices, I had a guess, and each and every one of them I was about £200-300 out. I thought they would be much more than they were. I mean, the Road Core especially, because it's got the graphite nut, and it's got a tight tune bridge as well, which is the same bridge system that I have on my Ibanez Fireman. That as well had a graphite nut, and that guitar came in at like 700-800 quid. So I was kind of thinking, yeah, it's got to at least be like 500-600, maybe even 700. No, 367.
Yeah, which is, like I say, for everything that it is incredible. Just whilst I'm going through the website, it looks like there's still some versions with rosewood on the board rather than whatever you said.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming these are
Jatoba.
Jatoba.
Yeah, Jatoba.
But yeah, so it looks like you can still get your hands on ones with rosewood. I'm guessing they're like older versions.
Yeah.
Before CITES came in, and they're now using Jatoba. But yeah, I mean, they're incredibly cool looking guitars. Like, apart from the stupid pickup, which you can just cover the bridge pickup like a normal, sane human being if you want.
Well, I mean, the correct choice would be to tear those Ibanez Bookers out and get some Fletcher blends or some Provenance, or let's get something in there.
It's a bit modern looking for a Fletcher blend set. Like, Fletcher blend set need to go into an SG or a Les Paul. You want something like ridiculously high output to go in this. If it was me, I'd put something childish in it. I'd like go for, what's his like overwound.
The Neo Hell is the most high output, which is neodymium magnets. Which...
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the Hyper Fletch. I think I'd go for, which is like his Fletch.
That was a cast. That was, weren't it? That was definitely a cast.
It was
that. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I would probably keep it a little bit more classic because I think the double binding on it, the 9.5 radius. I might even be tempted to go his home set, which is like Alnico 2, I think, and get that kind of real low output and just a bit classic-y. But
yeah,
I don't know.
See, you're less of a child than I am.
Yeah, like I say, I've put some P90s in an RG. I'm a grown man. So we've got one last thing to wrap up the podcast this week. This was something sent in from Adam Yeomans in the little preamble that I put up on our Facebook group before the cast. So he follows PV Amps on Facebook, which I figure I should probably do. I don't at the moment. Sorry, guys.
Bearing in mind that you own the PVs and he doesn't.
Well, that's it, yeah. And they posted up something about the PV Viper Pro 100 this week. And it got him asking, Is this a new thing? What's the deal with it? I'd never heard of the Pro, but I've...
Pro, like an upgraded version of the Viper?
Yeah. So the Viper it's got to be coming up to about a decade old now. It can't be that old, but it's got to be close to that.
Well, it's going on a while. I think I've told the story on the cast before where I nearly bought a PV Viper 75 instead of my AC15, and that's 6 years ago at this point, and the Viper wasn't a new product.
Yeah. So I mean, the earliest kind of news articles and reviews that I got from it was 2015 for this the Viper Pro.
Right. Okay.
So I did a little bit of research on it. I watched the Sweetwater product video of it. Bless him, the guy. He was trying to explain all of the ins and outs of it. It seemed so complex, and there was a lot more talking than there was him playing the Viper, which
says a lot.
It rings alarm bells a little bit, doesn't it? I can't say to the quality of this amplifier, but I have played one of the old Vipers, and the drive sounds were not wholly convincing. To
put it politely.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking in terms of like how convincing it was above those old crappy Zoom pedals, but not by a great deal.
Yeah. Like, I watched the product demo video that made me think that I wanted one 6-7 years ago, whatever it was. Like, the last time we spoke about it on the cast, which I feel like it was like about 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, how did I ever think that sounded good? And that's the originals, not the Pro. I can't comment on the Pro, but those original PV Vipers. And like, does the new one still have that stupid Sandpera foot switch?
It does.
The 8.
Yeah,
8 bloody button.
I think it's more now. I think.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks slightly more like a foot switch because the old Sandpera ones were kind of semicircular, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean it's just an odd shape.
Yeah, it was really strange. It was probably quite ergonomic, being in more of a semicircular format. However, the new ones are more of like a kind of block. It still had the volume and the wah, and it had. So you've got like 4 stomp boxes or 4 slots per bank
row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in
that's what I remember.
Yeah. I think it's very similar. It also had like an inbuilt looper. It had the switchable delay and reverb on every channel.
Joy.
Yeah. The Pro, it did sound like the features were pretty good. Like all of the 4 slots, you could assign whatever you wanted to it. So you could assign an effect, a stomp box, but you could also assign amps. So you could, like, theoretically model 4 different amps running concurrently. And they did do that. They did it with like 4 metal amps. So they showed you what it sounded like one of the amps at a time. They were doing like a diesel and like a I don't even know what the other ones were, like a rectifier and all these. And then they played them all together, and it did sound like a bigger, fatter tone.
Okay.
And it didn't sound terrible.
Ridiculous.
No, it didn't sound terrible, but I was finding it very difficult to convince myself. Considering like these product videos are there to make it sound like the absolute bollocks.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the Line 6 demos of like the Amplify with there's a couple of guys who do it, but Paul Hindmarsh does the ones for the UK. And if you listen to him demoing those, they sound really, really good.
Yeah.
Whereas the demo of this Viper was sounding okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of puts it into perspective.
I think they have a place, like things like the Viper and the Amplify and the Vox VT series and the stuff.
Yeah, the modelling stuff.
I would class as below a Katana in sort of like the scale. Like to me, I know the Boss Katana is a modelling amp, but it's next gen almost.
Yeah, it's an analog drive circuit, isn't it? Which apparently the PV Viper Pro has. It's all analog circuitry for the drive stuff, which I think it's really important to do if you want like an authentic and very responsive drive.
Yeah. And I think it's probably for kids these days, this is what those Zoom multi-effects were for us as a kid, in that it's your way into trying out different styles of amps, trying out different effects. They've got some effects in there. They might not be the best quality effects, but I don't think kids these days are interested in buying a cheap multi-effects that's made of plastic and falls apart after 3 uses. And I think they all, because modelling has been a thing for a while now,
Yeah.
they go out and they look for a modelling amp as the best thing in the universe, and they'll realise over time that they can get better sounds, but it's that way of them learning what delay does, what reverb does, what a chorus sound is, what a flange sound is.
Yeah. And
I
think in terms of like a learning experience, the sounds in that PV sounded within the ballpark of, say, your delay. If you put an analog delay on your sound, it sounds very much within the ballpark of what you will eventually get, what your good analog delays sound like. Whereas the stuff in the old Zoom were...
It taught you what a delay pedal was supposed to kind of sort of do.
Yeah, it was like... It was like a really bad photocopy that you were then squinting at. So it has the rough outline of what an analog delay is supposed to sound like, in the fact that it stops your signal and repeats it. Yeah, repeats it a couple of milliseconds or seconds later. But it doesn't sound anywhere near what it's supposed to.
No, you're not going to get edge sounds out of a Zoom, like.
No. Whereas these, I think, as long as you kind of manage your expectations and don't expect it to be like Grammy Award-winning sounds, then you're learning enough from the newer wave of modelling that you'll get an idea of what you actually want.
Yeah.
However,
and they don't. I don't think they break the bank either, do they? The Viper series.
This one, I think, was a kind of cresting 3.5, I think.
Ooh.
But I mean, in terms of like amplifiers, it's not terrible.
No, and I guess if it's 100 watt, I take it's a combo, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a 100 watt modelling combo, you could gig, and if you're in your, a school band and you're 14 or 15 and you've got one of these for Christmas, you could go out, join a band, go out there and start playing.
Yeah.
And I think anything that allows you to do that and allows you to play in a funk band and a metal band at the same time, because you don't really know what your style is yet.
Play funk metal. But yeah, I think in terms of like hierarchy of goodness, in terms of modelling, I don't think the PV Viper Pro is very high up on that list. Like you say, I think it's unfair to call the Katana a modelling amp because it does it in a slightly different way. But I think it's almost universally a given that the Katana pretty much rules the roost in terms of that kind of solid state, lower priced market. And then I think you go down a couple of tiers and keep going down and keep going down. And I think it's towards the lower end, the PV Viper Pro.
Yeah, I'd like to say, without hearing it in the flesh, I wouldn't want to comment, but it does, from what I remember, the old PV Vipers sounding like it is very much Line 6 Spider 2 territory.
Oh, the Spider 2s were good. It was I think the 3s and the 4s.
The Spider... yeah.
I say good.
Good for the time.
Yeah, good with an asterisk. Very much with an asterisk. Good enough.
Yeah.
And I think on that
I just want to say,
on that bombshell,
before you do,
I think we need to end it because I don't think I can get away from saying that the Spider 2 was good. I think
all I wanted to say was
go for it.
When you said funk metal, I just imagined Nile Rodgers playing in Metallica.
Yeah. I mean, stranger things have happened. Metallica did a song with Lou Reed, so maybe that's the next one.
Didn't they do an album with?
Oh yes, they did do an album. Yeah.
They did an album with. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose they've done weirder things.
Yeah. So now that we've lost all credibility, do you want to do the sign out for this week, Matt? Go on.
Do I want to do the sign out? So, if you want to get in contact with us, get any questions answered, or just sort of interact with us or any of the people who've been host on our wonderful podcast over the last year and a bit, then you need to go to Facebook, go into the groups, and search for the Fret Talk podcast. And that's the best place to get in contact with any of us about any questions that you've got, or just interact with the guys on the cast if you want to get sort of anything off your chest, or you got any questions, or you just want to hang out with some cool people who know shit about guitars and you want to chat crap about guitars like we do.
Bang on.
Yeah, come to the Facebook group. If you want to get in touch with the Budget Pedal chap, you can watch his videos on YouTube. Just search for the Budget Pedal chap. Alternatively, you can get him on Instagram at instagram.com/budgetpedalchap or facebook.com/budgetpedalchap on Facebook. If you want to hear me chat shit about wrestling, then it's iTunes, Stitcher, Acast, any of those kind of places, SoundCloud, and you search for the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. On Twitter, I am at heel_MQ. heel_MacQ. I've got my own bloody Twitter.
I'm usually the one who fucks your Twitter up, so it's nice to know that you can't even remember it yourself.
We've got it right the last few weeks. But yeah, if you want to see me chatting shit, or if you want to make me chat shit about something other than wrestling on Twitter, then hit me up on Twitter. Absolutely bang on. And I'm just gonna thank you, listeners, for making it this far. I know an Ibanez cast is not the most exciting for some people, but hopefully it's a bit of food for thought. That some of these companies that have that stigma of metal might have a little bit more to them than you think. So thank you for making it this far. Thank you for your support as well. It is you guys who make this thing a possibility. So from myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap, from Mr. Matt Quine, it's going to be a goodbye and good night for this week. Goodbye and good night. Ta-da a bit. Au revoir. Happy Ryan. Auf Wiedersehen. Kanishiwa. Oh, that's hello, isn't it? That's hello, isn't it? Oh, you've balls that right up, haven't you? Yeah. I don't even know goodbye in any more languages. Dos vidania. I do, of course I do. Dos vidania. Dos vidania.